Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's album review. Today, we're going to be reviewing Deichkind with their album Wer Sagt Denn. I don't know anything about this album. I'll put the comment down below for the request. I'm going to just share the screen with you now to have a look at what I just found on Wikipedia. So, Brett, can you see that?
Can now, yep.
So Deichkind is a German hip-hop electro band. You might like this, electro band formed in Hamburg in 1997.
Good year.
Yeah. So classed as genre hip-hop, electro punk. So it might be a little bit different to what we're used to. It's quite interesting. We'll look at the album now as well. I've got it here somewhere, I believe. 1 second. Okay, here it is. You see that?
Yep.
So it's a 1 hour album exactly. And I like the look of the first track. It's going to be an interesting one to review. It's 9 seconds long. Definitely our shortest ever track. So that review will be interesting on that particular track. So yeah, it's quite long. It's quite a few short ones in there.
Short tracks, yeah.
Quite short, relative, most of them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's quite a relatively new album from 2019. Like I say, don't know anything about them apart from what we've just read. So, Brett, are you kind of quite hopeful for this one in a way?
Yeah, I see. My genre in terms of rap and electro rap is obviously very minimal, so go with sort of a clear mind. But yeah, it seems promising. Like I said, because I have said, obviously, don't mind a bit of sort of electro music or music style. So it could have a good mix. I was thinking back to, as you were saying now, like Beastie Boys, one of the first ones, this EP that we did, that kind of had sort of, was it like a dance? That was more like sort of dancey pop, wasn't it? It's rap. So whether it's more like that or something completely different, either way, it's going to be, regardless, it is going to be interesting to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also kind of looking forward to it. Don't really know what to expect. It's always nice to kind of listen to something new. I know we're still in that same sort of genre of German rap, but it's we've listened to so much variety of German rap, so much different stuff. So I think this will add to that list of variety there. So yeah, kind of looking forward to it. So we're now going to go off and listen to it. We'll be back with you very, very shortly in a few seconds. Just before we go, just to remind you guys, we're going to be having a 100 subscriber special Q&A video. So please, if you haven't already, leave a comment or a question, down below in the comment section, which we will then answer in the Q&A. We've got to get to 100 subs though first. So, keep subscribing for those that haven't. Like the video. And yeah, we'll see you guys in a few seconds to tell you what we thought of the album. So guys, we've now listened to the album and we're going to go ahead and tell you what we thought of it. So I'll go first. I think it might be my turn to go first, not sure. So just get my notes up. So I found it quite an unusual style. I mean, it's not the first time I've said that with German rap, to be fair. So maybe it's not that unusual. Had similarities to TJ Beast Boy and that Adam, which is TJ Beast Boy was part of that Adam. But I preferred this album and Deichkind to TJ Beast Boy and that Adam. I wasn't particularly. Well, I won't go into Beast Boy and Dat Adam. We've talked about that before, but yeah, I suppose there were certain things that I did like about this. I think the first thing I liked was I liked the fact that there were no crude lyrics. because I did translate each song, and yeah, although the lyrics didn't have sort of a very deep meaning, there were some really unique storylines in there. Like I think the second song, the third track, was about beer, drinking beer. There's another track about power banks when your mobile phone's low on battery. So quite unusual in that style. We're so used to listening to sort of German rap with like lots of gangster references and killing people and just all that sort of stuff. So it was nice to get away from that. So I think that was one of the main reasons why I like this. Well, I say I liked it. I liked it to a certain extent. The music, the rap and music itself was quite interesting to listen to. There were some elements of it that I did like. There was quite a lot of different sort of rap styles going on. I don't know anything about this group, but there's obviously a few of them in there. It's not just one person. It seems like there's different people, and they have different voices and stuff. So that was kind of nice. It had a bit of variety to it. So, this wasn't bad, this album. I kind of enjoyed it, as I said, to an extent. Not respectable. Brett, what about you?
I again echo a lot of the things that he said there. Really, best way to sum up for me, it wasn't a bad album. It definitely had some variation to it, so which surprised me because I was expecting a lot more like Beastie Boy stuff, but the start of it wasn't like that at all. Then we did get sort of a Beastie Boy feel to it, and it sort of mixed around a bit from there. As you said there, the lyrics, not rude, not crude in any way, quite weird in some regards, and obviously we'll go through those as we do. But yet there were also some lyrics and some songs which I'm quite associated with Genetic as well. So I almost thought it was like a cross between if Beastie Boy and Genetic sort of got together and collaborated in some regards. There were a couple of songs there I quite enjoyed for the tunes and stuff. Overall, not a bad one. So it definitely is maybe slightly better than sort of halfway in the middle of all these different sort of German rap stuff that we've been listening to. So hopefully as we go through the songs, we'll be able to clear some of that up there. As you said there, not a bad album.
Okay. So the first one's probably maybe the strangest track we're going to ever review. So it was hashtag WSDD. It was a 9-second conversation, I suppose, and they were talking about saving people, like saving people's lives or something like that, or saving people. Can we save them all or something like that? So, I don't really know what more I can add to that.
That's pretty much it there. So obviously the hashtag stands for the album title itself, which if we didn't know already, the English translation is who says that, which is a kind of theme in a few of the songs really. So that's what sort of Genetic, where they kind of seem like to be a deeper meaning, even though some of the songs were just pop, just nothing really to do with anything of importance. But then there will be times where there was sort of a deeper meaning. You sort of got that, but it seemed pointless to why not just have the start of track 2, that sort of intro bit. But hey ho, it's track. It's officially now, I'd probably say the shortest track I've ever listened to. I don't think I've listened to a shorter track.
Yeah, and we've certainly took a lot longer than 9 seconds to discuss it. So we better move on. The next one, Wer Sagt Denn das? So that's the name of the album, and it's the name of the song, or the first main track on the album, which Brett, you just said there was. What was the translation? Sorry.
Who says that?
Oh yeah, who said that? That's what I've got down. Yeah. So had a head bopping beat. I was like, okay, this is all right, and I like the Wer Sagt Denn das part. So the who said that part. It sort of kept coming up like in like a spoken form. It kind of worked well. The way I kind of saw it was like a couple of rappers with their own style. And then like towards the end, it sounded like it was an Indian singer that got involved in it as well. I don't know what all that was about, because I didn't hear that again throughout the album. It's just in that one song. Kind of liked, yeah, I kind of liked the song. I did. It's probably one of the better songs actually on the album. And in terms of the meaning, I think one line that took me sort of, it was quite powerful. Life's a bitch and then you die. So kind of a bit negative, but yeah, that was the line I took. So good start.
Yeah, I agree. It was sort of a nice sort of start there to the album. I've written that line as well. Yeah, life's a bitch, then you die. And this is why I sort of put associated with genetics. So I said there was sort of more meaning surrounded. Like another line says, it refers to about and building a wall. Will that really help Mr. President? So obviously Trump building that wall in Mexico, unless it's for something else. I don't know. And yeah, the bit you said as well, like the who says that bit, sort of chorus bit, again, really sort of enjoyable. So it was like almost a good sort of, I wouldn't say pop song, but it had that sort of recognizable sort of song feel. It didn't feel like a rap song as such, in parts, which we get a feel of that generally throughout the album as well. And then talking about the future, how we're going to work to it, and then obviously that first bit about saving people. So that's why I generally thought, okay, this could have a bit of a real sort of genetic feel to it.
Okay, the next one was, I can't remember how to say 1,000 in German. So 1,000 Jahre Bier, which I think means 1,000-year-old beer. Brett, is that right?
I think 1,000 years of beer.
1,000 years of beer. Okay, 1,000 years of beer. Okay, that's will also make sense. So this was featuring Till Lindemann. This one kind of took me as well, kind of quite instantly, took my attention. It had almost like an 80s feel to it. Deep voice singing chorus, quite a few weird voices going on, unusual. Again, I kind of liked it in a strange way. Like it was, I don't know, just kind of took my attention and just interesting. I think I like the fact that the lyrics was all about beer. So I love the fact it's a song about beer and not women, drugs, etc. So yeah, interesting one that.
Yeah, I think what I found the most interesting, as you said there, was the fact, yeah, it was talking about beer really. And thinking rap album, never heard it. Like I said, it is normally drugs. Some people say beer is a kind of a drug in some regards. But yeah, normally drugs, guns, violence. So a real sort of interesting take there. And liking to, you know, how in hitting, that's what we're talking about in history, since back in the Vikings and the Romans, there's always been alcohol, and how much that alcohol's probably had an effect on the history and life as we know it, even till today. So again, really sort of unusual, deep sort of thinking around there. I kind of put it was also, I didn't put an 80s feel, but I did have sort of more of a rocky feel to it. And I think there was a couple of bits where you had that sort of almost Metallica screaming bit, not for very long, it wasn't that. I was with that. I thought, okay, now we've got a bit of a rock sort of feel to it, felt quite loud. But yeah, I found this one, yeah, it was more interesting with the lyrics and the title, really.
Yeah, okay. Next one was Dingy. So this one had the same beat throughout. A few different rappers, but nothing stood out with this one compared to the previous two tracks. So I suppose you could say this one's a little bit disappointing. It kind of, you know, the first two tracks were like, okay, this is really interesting. And then this one kind of, actually, this one's not so hot. Have no idea what this is about. Something about things. Every sentence was like about things, but I didn't understand the meaning of it.
Yeah, it's a really hard one to sort of delve into, to try and work out what it sort of meant. And as you said there, yeah, this felt very similar in tune-wise to the previous one, so I didn't have much to run there. Only this, maybe the one before was a bit more rocky. This kind of almost had a more modern hip-hop feel to I found. And yeah, really unusual lyrics, all about sort of things. The closest thing to maybe what I was trying to get to, that's it here. Things understand us, hear everything, see everything. Things replace humans. They're going to take over. So a bit again, like I know I keep referring to genetic quite a lot here. The things that are just sort of on the brain when I was thinking about, you know, talking about aliens, and they were talking about outer space and stuff. So kind of looking along those lines, like an outer being kind of thing. And it seems like being a real common theme now, where if you don't want to talk about drugs and violence and normal rap stuff, and you can't talk about beer, you talk about space and aliens and other things around there. Seems to be the next go-to thing, really.
Particularly in, or specifically in German rap, you mean?
Sorry, yes, definitely. Well, I don't know enough English rap or American rap to know the ones who don't talk about stuff, what they talk about. But my understanding from what I've now been known from German rap, yes, that's
Okay.
what.
Next one is Cliffhanger. Had an electronic dance beat. It kind of works, and it was quite boppy, head boppy, which is always a good thing. So yeah, it wasn't bad, this one. But what I found interesting was the lyrics. It was like about what to watch, like on TV or whatever it was, or watch a film to watch at home. It was just such a weird kind of unusual sort of theme, and loving the originality.
Very much so. What a sort of original, modern of the time sort of tracks. We know this was only released, was it like a year or two ago? And even the title Cliffhanger, referring to episodes, watching episodes, getting to the end of it, and having to watch the next one. As soon as this one started, I was like, this is definitely a bit of me, just from the tune. So it had the sort of dancey electric feel to it. And then I could hear, I hadn't seen the lyrics, so I could pick up some words there, but I didn't think too much into it. And then when seeing the lyrics, I was just so much to love about it. And so it wasn't just talking about watching things on TV, it was actually also talking about the things to go around with Netflix, and actually having to watch back-to-back episodes and being addicted to can't wait to the next one. Even refers to an actual German Netflix program, Dark, and about how you don't worry about what you're eating. So like today, we don't count calories when watching Netflix, and it's so true. And it's funny because I met someone the other day, and most of our conversation was about what have you seen on TV, what have you been watching, what's on Netflix, what have you watched this, and it's sort of passed out. And that's another little thing I wrote here about little things like about skipping the intro. And when you're on Netflix and like you're watching back to back, you have the option to skip the intro if it's like I said, I mean, Netflix should probably buy this song and sort of somehow uses their advertising thing some way. So a lot to like about this song: the tune, the lyrics, the funness about it. And remember, this is meant to be sort of a rap album, so it has the strongest potential to be on my playlist.
Okay, so the next one, I've got quite a few notes for this one. Keine Party. So party is obviously party. Keine, I know it means like without a party, like not a party.
Oh, right, okay.
Kind of deep, gruff rapping by one of the rappers. I suppose similar to the beer song that we've heard previously. Kind of a shouty style, again, like the beer song, a kind of more kind of rocky feel to it. I think this style worked better for the beer song. I prefer the beer song than this one. This was the longest song on the album. Wasn't actually particularly keen on this one. However, after I wrote that, it then went quite dancey with no lyrics, right through to the end. It just had a really unusual ending. So it kind of went up a little bit in my estimates, I suppose. And the meaning of the song, it seemed to be about saying they're too old to party, basically. Like, what's the point in going to a party kind of thing? It's just not worth it. I don't know, we're just too old for it. Brett, what did you think?
Yeah, I didn't pick up about being too old, but I obviously got ideas about not wanting to party. And the funniest thing about this as well, as we go into other songs, for a group that obviously are singing this first song about anti-parties, don't want to go to them, they mention parties quite a lot in some other songs. And this song itself, you could imagine being played at a house party as well. So it kind of contradicts itself in some sort of way.
I think that's the point somehow. They're trying to be
but I really liked it, and definitely longer, and it definitely got better towards the end with sort of the dancey bits there. And when I listened to it the first time, I thought I heard Beastie Boy being mentioned. I thought, because he did that on his Hyper Rave Lord, that sort of party song, about gate crashing the party and stuff. I thought maybe there's some sort of dig on it, but it turns out it's actually the Beastie Boys they're actually referring to, which I thought was a nice touch there. So yeah, again, a really interesting one. Again, a tune I didn't actually mind towards the end, but more interesting to see and hear the lyrics and all the sort of contradicts and stuff. So yeah, good stuff.
Next up, we had Now Bon Bon. This one was like, for me, old school hip hop. Sounds like, and yeah, it sounded like a very well-known song, and I couldn't put my finger on it. It was like na 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 na. And I was searching for it online. I was like, songs with na 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 na. And then I sort of thought, it sounds like it's, oh, what's the guy's name? It's like, oh, Will Smith. I think that's his name. So I put in na 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 Will Smith, and it came up getting jiggy with it. I was like, yeah, this sounds like similar to that. So they've almost like they've kind of used it from there, but maybe they haven't. So yeah, I like this one. It was a sort of catchy, and I had a sort of nonsensical chorus, but I still liked it. And like some of the lyrics in there, Big Daddy Pork. I don't know. It's like, what's that? And I don't know. I just enjoyed it. It was like a good, fun song. We don't really have to worry too much about a deep meaning or anything. There was no crudeness in it. So just like the meaningless lyrics, or sounded meaningless to me when I translated it. I don't know unless you understood something a bit deeper from it.
No, I didn't manage to find anything deeper from it there at all. And I think the translation of the title is meant to be cracker, which is unusual in itself there. So at first it felt very rap, and then I thought actually it found a lot more like we've recently more discovered like alternative hip hop. So definitely have that old school kind of hip hop rap feel to it. I wasn't enjoying it at first, but by the end, I sort of grew a bit more of a liking to it. And then again, seeing the lyrics, it was just a sort of bit, yeah, sort of a nothing to it there. But it was something I could definitely sort of listen to it again. And again, with the lyrics I wrote here, bum he comes with asparagus legs. Again, it was just, it rhymed well and just worked well in the tune, but otherwise, yeah, crackers of a song, but not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, next one was Budevol People. So different sounds and voices, lots of lyrics, unlike some of the previous songs, where it was more kind of about the music and stuff, but this was very sort of lyric orientated. And I enjoyed the alien saying German numbers. Oh, I know these numbers. Oh, I understand them. Had a sort of sci-fi feel to it. Again, what we were talking about a few minutes ago about this whole kind of alien stuff going on in German rap. It was okay, but not one of the better tracks for me. It was talking about the title, I guess, is a booth full of people. And yeah, Brett, maybe you can tell us a bit more about what you understood about it.
I can't. I was hoping anyone who's listening to this, if I don't know if it's a German slang word or term, so let us know what that means. Yeah, like I couldn't find enough to see what it was about, and trying to get an understanding what, if it is a type of person, what are these type of people in Germany are really. So if I like, they're willing to chill in cheap places. So whether that's a clue to the type of person, I don't know. I've put here Knife Party in brackets. So it's another album that we listened to, a dancey, electric one. And again, had that sort of feel to it. And again, had that sort of alien feel and sound effects there. So yeah, very much more down the dance sort of route there. Again, not amazing, didn't do much for me, but again, more intrigued again by the title and the lyrics. So yeah, if anyone can tell us what type of people this was targeted at, it'd be interesting to know.
Okay, next up we had Endlich Autonom. So I found it kind of catchy in parts, head boppy again, nice electronic instrumental. And as the song went on, I was like, okay, this is actually quite decent. And then I was like wondering, maybe the long instrumental at the end there is showing that it's endless, in the sense of, well, the title Endlich Autonom, Brett, maybe you translated that. I'm guessing it's like endless or auto something, autonomity, autonomous, something endless. So
Yeah.
the one I'm saying about the lyrics is about driving a car, but with some weird kind of meaning about driving. Or what have I put here? Autonomously. So like on automatic mode, like you don't even really know what's you doing. It's just endless. And I think if that is what it meant, it was quite a clever ending because the way the kind of it just continued without any lyrics. Then it was just quite an interesting track. This one, I thought.
Yeah, so again, talking about genetic about being clever with sort of words, obviously not as deep meaning with this one, but in clever. So yeah, it was endless driving. I found some of that. So, but I don't know if that's completely correct. So again, if anyone's listening and they want to correct, they can do. And I put here, yeah, so back to the Beastie Boy kind of dance style of it, which I quite enjoyed. Again, you had sort of your classic sort of verse bits, and there was some sort of nice, really rapping bits as well. And again, my favorite bit was that sort of endless, not endless, because it wasn't endless, but the music at the end. Really sort of enjoyed listening to that there. And out of the lyrics, I wrote this one here. Highway to hell is the highway to the hardware store. Which again, whether they chose those words because it rhymed well with something else and it just worked, I don't know, or really showing that they really don't like DIY and hardware stuff. I thought it was quite interesting there. So yeah, again, actually quite like this one.
Next up was Gewinner. A few bits in English here. There was a very sort of rocky element in the chorus. It was short. It was about money and profit. So slightly maybe towards the more kind of general sort of lyrics of rap in a very kind of small way, about money and stuff, but it still wasn't, like crude or anything like that. It was harmless enough.
Yeah, that's probably the closest you're going to get to it there. But it was obviously a very, very short song. So yeah, the title translation, if it's correct, is what I've got here is Profits, which sums up exactly what the song was about. And again, this will have a very more real traditional rap sort of feel to it. So it's just really sure not really much more I could really say more about that. But yeah, it was all right for me as a short song.
Next up, we had Party 2. So my wife happened to be in the room when I was listening to this particular song, and she said she thought it sounds like Gangnam Style, that famous Korean song, which I kind of saw in a way. I probably wouldn't have said that myself. I like the reference to Mambo No. 5 because that was very popular. Is Mambo No. 5 a song or a group?
So Mambo No. 5 was the name of the song by an artist called Lou Bega, who, whilst we're on that subject, I've got to know here, he's actually from Germany.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a reference to the song Mambo No. 5, which was a massive hit. God knows how many years ago when we were a lot younger. So I like that because that was kind of like reminiscing about the past. It's quite dancey, the song. Quite liked it. In terms of the lyrics, obviously it's called Party 2, so it sounded like it was a continuation from Party 1, which they kind of talked about, and then they talked about they're going to bring out another party song next. Party 3 would be the next one. So I'm thinking Party 1 was on one of their previous albums. I haven't checked it, but that's what I'm guessing. But yeah, not a bad one, that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I assume Party 1 for some reason was the party they were talking about in the song previous on this album, but would make sense maybe they had a different song, Party 1. And that's why I was laughing because when they're talking badly about parties and that, but like I said, parties mentioned again, and then obviously there's a third one they were going to sort of talk about there. But again, sort of I'm referring to Beastie Boy a lot just because that's our go-to thing there. So it has that dance style. Again, really enjoyed it. And yeah, the highlight was the reference to Mambo No. 5. So not only was he actually German, well, he spent most of his life living in Germany. He actually also used to be a rapper before he went down sort of the route he went down. So how good a rapper he was, I don't know, but he was into his rap. So whether that's why they mentioned him as well, because of a rapping background. But according to Wikipedia, that's what he did, yeah.
Okay. Next up, we had Richtig Gutes Zug. Had an unusual sound, peculiar, calm style of rap, this one, quite unique. And it had what I would describe as like old school video game background sounds. The line I took from here was it's a really long, it was not just one line, it was a number of lines, but I'm going to read it all out because it really made me just weird. So this is what I took. Wow, crass, Glockler rhinestones. Just ask him if you can get it. Smells a little strange, but tastes good. It doesn't exist anymore. You won't get anything like that. €12.99, but really good. Really good stuff. Yeah, €12.99, but really good stuff. Like, what's this?
I know. It's so unusual. So, and obviously the title is really good stuff. And again, if someone's listened and they know what they are actually referring to, because we might maybe not get the reference or missing stuff in between, I really want to know what this really good stuff is. That's only €12.99. Because again, if it was any other rap album, we'll be going, oh, it's coke or it's weed or it's.
Yeah, but this is definitely not.
I don't think it is with this. I don't. It could be just like a milkshake, for we know.
Well, if it was drugs, it wouldn't be costing €12.99. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, I know. Unless it's a very small amount, or so, I don't know. So yeah, if you know, interesting. I've put here in the bracket as well, referred to a lot on different albums, the experimental songs, and this felt more different to any of the others. And the rapping itself, in which you're right, it had this sort of strange background tune, almost like gaming tune, and then less rapping. It was almost like talking than actually rapping as such. So real strange sort of mix there. And again, like I said, a lot of the songs, more intrigued by the title and what they're actually singing, rapping or talking about. So again, if anyone's got more information on that, please let us know in the comments below.
Okay, moving on. Quasi was next. So I didn't like the style of the main guy rapping, and I wasn't keen on the background music either. It's kind of annoying, loud horn. I prefer one of the other rappers a little bit more. He had a more kind of softer style of rap. For me, this is probably one of the worst tracks on the album, but it was still unique nonetheless. In terms of the lyrics, I think this word means like actually, but I still didn't really understand what it was about.
I didn't know what the title sort of meant there. Sort of different things came up. And yeah, this would be sort of like almost like the second experimental song. What I did like about it, it did have a song feel to it in terms of you had a quite distinctive chorus. And yeah, it was very, I think the right word you probably said there is unique. And I think it's quite hard to explain it from there. The closest I've put here is like Eurovision German dance. So it's a real strange, and again, you would never think of it as a rap song or being on a rap album. And then just a line I've taken from here, just because we're on the subject of parties a lot. Technically wanted to make a party in Berlin, but I'll go to Bremen instead.
Good choice. I've been to Bremen. I like Bremen. I've been to Bremen a few times. Do you know what? This is a story for another day. When I was,
is this the one where is this not spoiler? Is this the one where you went there for the day?
Yes. And do you know how much?
Okay.
Do you know how much I paid for it?
I believe it was oh god, £2.99.
No, much cheaper. It was £1 British pence. One.
But then with tax?
No, there was no tax. This was before that. I took a flight on Ryanair to Bremen from London Stansted to Bremen for 1p. I came back the same day for 1p. I spent 2 pence. 1
You
p.m.
spent more on the lunch, the Chinese lunch,
And I went to a Chinese takeaway in the outskirts in a suburb of Bremen. So yeah, it's possible. Well, it was possible back then that you could travel on a plane there and back for two pence, not £2, 2 pence. It's like almost like the equivalent of 2 cents in euros. So unbelievable. Anyway, we won't go into that. So moving on, we have the song Power Bank. Had an alien voice. There were some nice effects in different parts of the song, different rap parts. It kind of grew on me a little bit, this one. It was fairly decent in the end. And the meaning about power banks, like when you're running out of battery on your phone, I think this person was saying he's lucky he's got a power bank that always sort of you can use. So yeah, interesting again with the lyrics, the meaning.
Yeah, so again, I put a little smile next to this one because again, on a rap album, you're talking about power bank for your phone and stuff. So very similar to like the Cliffhanger song. I prefer the Cliffhanger over this one, but again, a lot of stuff to take from this. Again, had that sort of proper dance feel to it, which obviously I really enjoyed. Great, funny lyrics. Again, very current, very modern. A couple ones I put here. Your battery from the US, mine made from China. So I think he was referred to an iPhone, and I get confused. Obviously, Apple is an American product, but I'm sure they get it made in China, or so I don't know if they're saying the US battery is worse and the China one's better, but that's beside the point, really. And then the other one here, I have so much juice, like I can't pronounce his name properly, Ditchier Valencia. So in short, he's like the Del Monte equivalent in Germany. So a German entrepreneur who effectively created a juice company. So he used to manufacture
play on
juice,
words,
yeah.
Got a lot of juice, yeah.
So clearly on the words, so I thought it was quite funny there. And there was mention of emojis, Wi-Fi, GIFs. So yeah, a good fun rap song as such.
Then we had Ich bin ein Geist, which I'm guessing means I am a ghost, based on the lyrics I saw. So it was only 1 minute long. Not much to say about it in terms of the actual track itself. Bit odd, but when I went looking to the lyrics, it was kind of interesting. So it sounds like he's saying that he's anonymous. So he signs contracts with embarrassing stars. So it kind of got me thinking, what does he do for a living then? What does he do for them? So he's signing these contracts. Is he like writing songs for them? And he's kind of like, when you do that, you kind of not really, because you're not the person at the front of it, you're not the person singing, so no one kind of really knows you. So I'm kind of, is that what he means by that? Brett, what do you think?
Yeah, so because you do get a lot of artists who will, or generally producers who will write songs for bands and artists. We talked about when we did the Britney thing, where we learnt about Max Martin, the Swedish guy who's written loads of songs for top pop bands. They've just got a knack for it. So whether he's sort of confessing actually, you know, even though he's all about rap and dance music, because you earn a lot. Because obviously, if you write songs, you earn a lot of money. So and he's obviously quite good with his lyrics. Still quite funny, gets on it. So probably writes a lot of songs for cheesy pop artists.
That's what I was thinking.
To make good money, which is fine. So whether he actually does dance saying it, and so again, if anyone knows, I could look more into it and find out, but didn't want to because we were trying to listen more about the music and a little bit into lyrics. But I think that's what he's done there. But again, really interesting with the whole sort of ghost spirit feel to it. And like I said, it feels like this common theme. If you can't talk about normal rap, violent stuff, it seems to be the outside world, space, ghost spirits, aliens, which is your next go-to thing. So I really quite enjoy that concept.
Okay. A few songs left. So next one was Sonate in F-Doll. This was an interesting one. So this was techno music without lyrics until 1 minute and about 11 seconds. It's a very techno heavy song for me with rap almost as like an accompaniment. So like the main thing here was about the kind of the beat going on, the music. I'd say this is one of my least favorite songs on the album, and meaning to me was nonsensical. I just didn't get what it meant.
Yeah, I take it that this felt a real sort of proper clubby song there, and I quite like the sort of intro without having any lyrics in. So I kind of enjoyed that. And then you had a very sort of distinctive sort of chorus with that there. I did also feel it started to feel a bit repetitive, which I know is what you meant to get with dance music from there, but maybe because it's getting towards the end of the album as well, just found it a bit sort of repetitive there. And yeah, no idea again what the lyrics are about. I think it's meant to be, like I said, like non-cynical, doesn't mean anything. But I've written here, pump yourself a beer, and veggie burgers smoked by someone with a leg, something along the lines there. So again, just kind of, again, I'm guessing maybe it just rhymes or works well with something else there, or sort of slang words that we don't understand. So yeah, pump yourself a beer and veggie burger.
Okay. So the next one then was Alice Alsa Sunshine. This one kind of took me straight away, sort of grabbed my attention. It felt very different to all the previous tracks on the album. This one felt a lot more chilled. It was strange how we'd gone from like this really kind of heavy sort of techno song to now suddenly the complete opposite, a kind of really chilled out song. So slow rap, as I said, different feel to this song compared to all the others. And it seemed to be about kind of when you feel stressed and when things aren't going your way, you know, kind of showing a bit of frustration, which is a bit weird because it had a chilled meaning. It was chilled, so you kind of didn't think it was going to be about, I don't know, something negative about being frustrated. But from the meaning, that's kind of what I got from it.
Yeah, exactly that. I think it was all about that. I was actually trying to get you to put stress away and actually relax. So everything except sunshine. So I think there was some negative meaning to that. But again, a real change of pace to what we listened to before, and found it a really nice sort of change there. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Could really imagine, you know, chilling, listening to that song from there, and had some other artists, female singers, sort of singing to that as well. So yeah, de-stress, don't over worry, and relax.
Okay. Next one then, the last one is Was das Foyer. This was also very chilled. This you could sort of listen to in a sort of chill out room somewhere. It had very few lyrics to it. It was more a kind of, I'd say, a nice way to end the album. A kind of, you know, just kind of relaxed, chilled out way to finish the album, following on from the previous song as well. In terms of the meaning, I think, what does it mean there? The title, Where's the Fire? Is that what it means?
Yeah.
So it sounded like it was almost like maybe someone's lost their desire to succeed in life or something, whatever they were trying to do, trying to achieve. That's the kind of meaning that I got from the lyrics there when I briefly looked at it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I can actually really get that from there. I haven't put too much here. I just almost put it's almost like a continuation from the other song. Again, a really nice, relaxed feel. It felt like after all, probably you can almost need like two relaxing songs just we talked before how some albums they just, and it's up to the artist how they want it to be in order and stuff. But for me, I felt this like almost like a complete album where you really could feel, I said, almost a rap start. You then had the dancey bits, then sort of the mix experimental ones together, and then back to sort of a bit more dancey again, and then these sort of chill songs at the end. So like I said, almost like a complete album in that sense. So yeah, nice, really nice way to end the album.
Okay, so to sum up, yeah, I found this quite an interesting album. I quite kind of liked it, as I said earlier. There's probably not really anything I want to take away from here and, you know, put onto a playlist. I don't think. Possibly, maybe one of the songs at the beginning, maybe even the first main song, not the 8 seconds thing, but yeah, it was just really quite intriguing, and just really found the lyrics refreshing. You know, getting away from all the violence and all the drugs and all that women and stuff. So that was nice in itself. And yeah, some of the songs were all right. Even the ones that I didn't like so much, I still kind of found them quite interesting to listen to in a sense. So yeah, I think this was quite a relative success, this album for me. Brett, what about you?
Yeah, again, I think agree exactly what you sort of said there, and sort of same where I said sort of start there. Like I said, there was that sort of one standout song that I would put on, but I think that's also me being quite complimentary, looking at the bigger picture with all the lyrics and stuff, which I know would never really know when I'm actually listening to the song. And like I said, back to Genetic, I really enjoy sort of the lyrics side of things. And there's a nice fresh breath air, not having to have all this traditional rap violence stuff. So as I said, not a bad album in some regards, and I think being able to look more into, find out more about these lyrics, these titles, and what they're all about. And again, rap is not mine or your forte there, but for me, definitely a lot more sort of style of rap that I would be more interested in. So yeah, done all right.
Okay, guys. So thanks for watching our review. If you want to request another album for us to listen to and to review, then please let us know in the comment section, and we'll be happy to do that for you. And yeah, see you on Wednesday for the reaction video and Sunday for the next review. Okay, guys. So, tschüss.